Okay, this is game one of the Europen playoffs. I'm going to do highlights of 4 games. So in the finals of the Fumbbl Europen, we had France, Italy, Germany, and Switzerland. We had 4 teams from each, so played in the semi-final and then played in the final. You can check out what happened on the Fumbbl page for that, which I will link below. So these are 4 of the games from there. And we start with Strider against Yena. So this is Switzerland against Italy. On the Swiss side is Team Hellhound. Actually, I'm going to turn those off for the moment. Sound pitch, team logo. Let's turn those off because it's easier to see. So we've got 3 blitzers, 2 dodge and a leader. We've got 4 yeomen, they're called on here, with guard, and then the rest are just standard players. On here we got 2 blitzers with dodge. We got a catcher with dodge, catcher with wrestle and strip ball, thrower with leader, and then 2 linemen with dodge. I think Eldril's about to join the game as well. So it goes to very, is that sweltering heat or very sunny? So that's very sunny. So obviously -1 to passing, 2 inducements. We've got star player. So we've got Gallante on the Bretonian team, and we've got Eldril on the Elf team, as Bo is there and Eldril is around here somewhere. Um, there's Eldril, the ball. So, so the Elves won the toss and elected to receive. So we'll see how that goes. He's run a lineman with dodge forward, bit of punching, and then goes to pick it up, and the ball actually bounces to the blitzer. So he didn't use a reroll on that because I guess he thought the ball would be fairly safe. It did bounce forward, so if he'd failed that catch, it could have been nasty because it could have bounced another couple of times and it could have all gone wrong. But he's got that. So he's brought the guarder in there. He's going to blitz with this player. He just gets a pushback. And then basically engages a load of Bretonians. So he's just going to hope for him to fail a dodge at some point. So this lineman back here is just a threat. If he wants to score at any point, he can do. But the Elves won't want to score very quickly. So just pootling along there. Dodging out all his players, and then the last one fails back there, so he just doesn't worry about using a reroll at that stage. It's pretty much it is in fact, well, second last player of the turn. So I imagine the Bretonians will engage loads of players again. Just go for the 1 blitz. Actually marking that one this time, wrestling down the catcher, and then putting players in the way so you just can't run through. So that's 1 player off for the Elves, just knocked out. And so now he's feeling a bit trapped in there, so he's just going to move over to the middle of the pitch and cage up there. Bringing the lineman back because he's 1 player down now, so he can't afford to have him up there anymore. Just a push on Eldril. And another casualty for the Elves, against the Elves, sorry, for the Bretonians, so the numbers are starting to be whittled down a bit. So the Elves likely not to, so it's just a blitz there, so he's just going to, again, just going to cage up. Just make sure that nothing bad happens. Caging over that side this time, protecting Eldril a bit more. Obviously a key player for the Elves. This one's a bit stuck. Oh, so he tried to get out there, using is with dodge as well. So tried to get out using a 3 up then 2 up, failed the dodge and KO'd himself. So definitely sort of running out of players a little bit. Let's see if that's a problem. Using sidestep there on the blitzer to move into a more favourable place. And then just at each turn, sort of engaging the Elves, make life difficult. He's got all it needs really is a snake eyes. And the Elves are in all sorts of trouble here. So really trapped in. Strider, sort of one of the best players in the world, basically. But so is Yena, so it's a really good matchup. But anything could go wrong. There's nothing very much happening over here. And have we got any wrestle handy? Wrestler quite a long way away. So there's blodger, but the person on the ball is a blodger. So we'll see if he gets a blitz in on him. Doesn't look like it. All right, so that's another player off, another KO. So we've got 3 KO'd elves now. Definitely running out of players. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 7 left on the pitch. No, it must be 8. I know because it was 7 because it's got 1 reserve. So got the hit just from a rookie lineman. So did a load of other stuff and then got the hit and got the, got the power basically. Yeah, got the power. So used the reroll, figured it was worth it. So you don't not necessarily going to get many hits. So he had the push, rerolled the push into a pow. So must have been very pleased about that. And here comes a move action, and then Gallante going for a pass action. Can he reach? He must be able to. He's got sprint. So has he got sure feet as well? Yeah, sprint and sure feet, move 8. So he's started absolutely miles away from the ball and just zoomed all the way over to get it. So he's got the ball and he's throwing it to his own player, but chumps it completely and lands in the middle there. So that's interesting. Let's see what happens. So here comes Eldril to the rescue. Oh, so that's unlucky. So a bounce up right would have been really good. He's got the ball and he's dodged out. He's failed to dodge out. Was that a pass action? I think it was. So I think he was gonna punt it basically. No, it was just a move action actually. Interesting. So he was just going to move and just try and hold onto the ball there basically with the catcher, but he stunned himself. So let's see if the Bretonians can recover the ball here. Plenty of players, obviously huge number of players up on the Elves. See if he can remove any this turn. So Gallante on the ball again. Is it Gallante or a Gallant? It's Gallante, isn't it? Yeah, Gallante with the accent on the end. So really solid position for the Elves now. For the Bretonians now. But he doesn't have blocks, so let's see if he can get taken down. One dice, looking for a POW. No. So looking for a POW or a both down there, doesn't get either of them, so Gallante sidesteps to bottom left. Decent situation to get in. Oh no, and the elf, missed next game, ouch. So go for it and took himself out of the game there. Hard work now. As I say, it was recommended as a decent game, so let's see what happens. Maybe it was recommended because it was quite an important game rather than an actual good one. So maybe lots of stuff happens in the second half, but obviously the Bretonians are receiving in the second half. Touchdown, turn 8. Right, hard work for the Elves now. What have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players against the full 11. Just an absolutely solid cage there. So obviously we've got a double stacked cage there to avoid Eldril doing his thing. That's clever little move, because obviously if Eldril hypnotizes one corner of the cage, then you could just waltz in. Whereas if you've got 2 in the way, then harder to do that. So what's the plan here with the Elves? So he's got some in the way, and then he's got another group of players up the top there. Which I guess is to stop the cage moving sideways. So it's going to struggle to move forwards in a useful way, but then that's to stop it moving sideways as well. See if it does, it'll go into that trap there. So that's a dodge in, and then so what's that? A blodger on the, no, it wasn't a blodger. No, it was a leader on the ball. I wonder why he did that. So leader on the ball. So he dodged in on a 4, and then got the POW, which is nice. Reasonable bounce to the elf side. And what are we going for? We've got a move action now. So he's not going for the pickup. He's just going to make life complicated there, and then bring some players in. He's dodging out on 3s and then 2s. So getting more elf power around, and then dodging out on 3s and 2s again. This is a good elfy sort of thing to be able to do. So standard practice, basically, if the ball's in a horrible place and you've got a player who can be pushed onto it, then it's a good idea to use that. Bouncy bounce there. So Bo might be able to do his thing still, or he might go for a yeah, so that was just a block originally, and then he's again he's re-rolled into a POW, and now Galante's caught the ball. So that's a bit of a bind for the Elves after they did a load of good work. So what's happening here is that Brets are not trying to move forward. They're just consolidating absolutely because it's 1-0 to them anyway. So as long as they've got the ball, they're okay. So he's just making a sort of super cage stroke screen type thing around. He's still going to be able to take the dodge in. Bo doesn't have any defensive skills. Wow, skull. That was just a random skull, and the guy managed to kill himself. So the Elves here, so it's not a ridiculous situation because the ball is very close to the Bretonnians' end zone, and so if something does go wrong for the Brets, then it would be easy to jump in there. So he's powed that player. He uses Fen to stop him. No, he didn't. He didn't use Fen. All right, so he's so he's gazing there. So he's got a 1 dice block at the moment. So he's just engaging a few players, knocking that one down. That one uses Fend. All right, and then we get a 1 dice blitz. So 3 up, and then looking for a both down or a POW, gets a skull, and no rerolls. Okay, so Bo gets away with that one. Still a massive numbers advantage for the Brets. So let's see if they can make it count and get a really solid cage on this one. We'll get forward somehow. So that was just a pushback. How are we for rerolls? Brets have got 1 reroll left, and the Elves are out of them. So again, taking the hit on Eldril because he's a real threat. There's no, you can't get a decent cage basically with Eldril lurking. He's got 3 up hypnotic gaze as standard, so again he can just gaze this corner. So what he's trying to do is negate Eldril's threat there. So I guess the question is, will he go for it this turn, or will he just make life complicated? So it looks, so obviously the Brets have got the numbers advantage, but the Elves are doing really well to make it not so bad, basically. So blitzing out there and just taking down this chap, who's guard and wrestle, and then just tagging there when you've got block and dodge. So obviously he'd struggle to block this player because he could easily sidestep into the cage and make life complicated, and then Eldril is just coming back here, so that next turn he can do some fancy stuff. So pretty much a gaze to nothing because he might as well just gaze him. He brought him back for the assist. No need there. So stands up with guard to give it a 2 dice and just ends up wrestling him down. So we've got 1, 2, 3 players are all engaged here. And so this player up here is a bit useless. But basically he's run up there. So Bo's going to be able to move a very long way. So are we going to see Bo zooming up? And will everyone be able to keep up with him? Sure they will. So we've got speed 7 blitzers. Now, is he going to be able to get a 4th member in? So that's a dodging out on 3s, and he had dodge, so that's fine. Still a 1 in 9 of going wrong. So again here, Eldril can just take out this corner. So that's why the extra player is here. This is a sort of mini Vengabus going on. So just pause that a second. So the mini Vengabus is where you've got 2 players next to each other within a cage. Obviously this corner of the cage doesn't matter. So it's a Vengabus that's lost a wheel. So if you remove this, so I think he needs to remove this corner of the tackle zone using the gaze, but it's whether he can remove the assist as well is what he needs to do, and then get again 1 in 3 chance of knocking down Bo. So let's see what I think it's going to be that corner. Yep. So he just takes him out there, and then so he puts the player in there to remove that assist, so that someone, probably this chap, can dodge 3s, 2s, and then take the 1 dice. Is this one with wrestle? Yeah, wrestle and strip. Okay, so this is really good. So this is a 1 in. That's 5 and 6. Assuming he can get there on 3s and 2s, then he's got a 5 and 6 chance of getting the ball. Oh, he didn't use him. Oh no, he hasn't used him yet, so that's fine. And so those whistles that you hear, the time taking. So in NAF play, the timeout button generally isn't used. So he blitzed him away, so it's still 3s and 2s. So he was hoping for a POW on that player, because that would have meant little dodging needed. So there's the push. doesn't have sure hands, so the ball gets stripped loose. Push back there. And the pow. So he might have gone off the pitch if he'd got a push there. Now the question is here, does Strider just consolidate or does he try and move the ball up the pitch? So Bo gets the ball and just a move action, so just runs forward. So he got the power on the ball carrier there, and the stun was sort of hugely important, really. It means it's less useful to be able to play. And then getting that extra corner there for the screen. Skull was unfortunate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can't do anything useful. So he's gazed. That means the person can run in here, which I guess might be this one. That's too far away. It's going to be this one. So dodges out and looking for the 1 in 3 to take down Bo now. And no rerolls. Actually, no. Yeah. Oh, good point. All right. So he's brought the assist in, and this guy's got block as well. So just needs the 2 go for it. And gets the 2 go for it, 2 2s, but gets a pushback, and Bo's got sidestep. Oh, and then makes the extra go for it, because that makes it a 3-up dodge out. Can't afford to blitz this one because he's got sidestep, make life complicated, but can he get rid of this one? Basically, can he get 2 dice on him? Neither of these are dodgers, but he's got the assist there. Okay, so if this player can take out Leonardo, then he'll be all right. So he's looking for a power or both down here. He's got the both down, so Bo can dodge out on 2s, and that's game over. As it says down the bottom, Bo scores a touchdown, so it's a really good 2-0 at the moment. Let's just see if anything happens at the end. Looking for a one-turner, basically. 2-turner, sorry. I guess this is just for, touchdown difference or something like that. Let's see if he scores, basically. So Eldril's here waiting for the ball. You've got another catcher waiting for the ball and the blitzer as well. So you're not going to be able to mark all of them. It's just a case of whether the throw works. He's got a handoff for the throw. Throw and handoff didn't work, so it's 2-0 to Strider. It's a really good game. They're 2 top quality coaches. And even though the Brets had sort of the run of it, and serious removals early on, it never really felt that the Elves were out of the game, because strip ball and wrestle against Bo could have gone very well for him. But good game, and game 2 will be coming shortly.